First of all, hey! This is already the improved commentary to my videos since I'm taking notes while drawing. Amazing, isn't it? Improvement. Welcome to episode 2 of me drawing objects into hot dudes, also called character design, in my comfort zone. And how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks to everyone who subscribed from my last video. That's amazing. Thank you, I appreciate it. So let's begin with the I can talk. Let's begin with the video's content, which is me designing. I had a couple of struggles deciding on a design, and you will see that I will change some ideas in the middle of it. It was a little bit hard to decide how to incorporate. I knew how to work with the colors and what to do with the patterns, but not how to do the round form, and you will see later on what I mean by that. I had envisioned something like body parts being broken, porcelain. Additionally to that, something like a shoulder bolster or gear that resembles the teapot shape, to maybe imply that he's a soldier or something similar, but more about it later. First, I did struggle a lot with the face. I found this 3D face model and thought of trying it out, and since it would be a good way to practice face perspectives and maybe it might help me fix some anatomy issues, and I have a lot of them. I have lots of them, but it just screwed it up for me. It just screwed it up for me. It only got better when I returned back to my usual method of drawing faces. I don't know why, but I will definitely use it more to see if I can use it and if it kind of helps me, because I do have a lot of room to improvement. Also, I originally thought about giving him pants, but then I just decided to turn him into a Ken doll. Because it looks pretty. It's not functional, but it looks pretty. Also, who is saying that there is no way you could have like it's as a print, right? It might be just a corset with a print on it and it just looks like porcelain, but it's not. This would make it functional again because it's bendy and elastic, right? Well, let's continue. After I was done with the body and the extra I drew, I started working the hair, and oh boy, this is where it hit me that I probably should give him super curly or wavy hair to resemble the bubbly shapes of the object. So I started doing that. And continuing from that, the hair did remind me of noodles somehow, and luckily it won't be like that later. But while drawing this, I definitely felt like I was drawing some edible noodles. Luckily to me, the hair is blue and not blonde, because that would just enhance the noodle effect. I also added some black pieces to kind of introduce another color to it, although it's not part of the object, and just for some accents color-wise. I just felt like it needed another color added to be more aesthetically pleasing to look at, because I only had, what was it, 2 main colors, and then there's white. Yeah, it was just blue and yellow and white, and while I think that looks good, I definitely felt like I needed to add another color. And since black is somewhat like white, more neutral, you don't really have to worry about the colors being compatible and fitting, I added black. Actually, brown would probably fit really well too, now that I think about it. Well, let's continue. I also went soft on the jewelry part since the porcelain has a ton of pattern going on, and I didn't want to overdo it and oversaturate the whole composition of the picture with too many patterns and too many jewelry stuff. First, I thought of just using porcelain patterns from the internet to trace, but then I decided to freehand draw a handful of patterns that I could use on him based on the patterns I saw on the object. And seeing it now, I'm kind of proud how well of a job I did with those patterns. Later on, you will see that I removed some from the object, not from the object, from his parts, because the object has some blank pieces too, so I kind of wanted to copy that, just super huge parts are blank. And I think I did a rather great job with that too. I think my favorite to do was the highlights of the porcelain, and I love how it looks like. I could have probably used some kind of texture or underneath to make the porcelain more worn out or old, because if you look at the object or like the image reference, it does look more like older porcelain is being used more than modern personal or like untouched one that is still very shiny and polished. Yeah, the hair on the other hand was a little bit a lot. I know I chose myself to color hair like that, okay? But I swear, it's a hate-love relationship. I love how it looks like and sometimes it's fun, but this time I definitely hated how long it took me to finish the hair shading. It's just, I don't know, sometimes I love it, sometimes I just freaking hate it. Yeah, so at this point, my sister came to my room telling me he has no nipples, so obviously I felt very pressured into giving him some nips for some extra juice. And yes, I chose blue at first. Till my sister told me he looks cold. And I didn't want him to look cold. So yeah, at the end I just added my usual filters on top to make the artwork pop, like coloring the line work, for example. And I also added some prism lighting, because I felt like it would look very beautiful and very fitting with the whole theme. Although, I guess it just looked pretty to me. So yeah, ta-da! And I am done. What do you think of it? Did I do a good job? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you the next time. Bye!